So when it comes to makeup, how comfortable are you leaving your home without makeup? I feel like a lot of us can answer that we might feel anxiety or might feel insecure. And this is why I loved my discussion with Lottie. Makeup's an art form, it's a self-expression, and for some of us, it's a daily ritual. But beneath the glam, there's a deeper conversation. Are we too reliant on makeup? What is our dependence on it? Is it setting impossible standards? In this episode, I sit down with Lottie, a professional makeup artist and my friend who knows the ins and outs of the beauty industry. And we're going to talk about the power of makeup, the industry's biggest controversies, and the trends that have us all questioning, is this really it? So I invite you to episode 59, Behind the Brush, Makeup, Trends, and Controversies with Lottie. Welcome to Healing with Haley. I'm your coach, Haley Kirk. On this podcast, we dive into ways to heal, embrace, and truly love our lives. Here's my belief. So much of our suffering comes from what we believe. I'm here to help you understand your mind and question those thoughts to start your healing journey. Ready to get started? Let's go. All right, you guys, welcome podcasters. I have a very special guest of mine, my friend Lottie Rayleigh. And the reason I'm bringing her on is not only is she just a sweetheart and so amazing and so talented, but we actually were at a modeling shoot together and we were talking about makeup and, everything that she does with makeup. And I was kind of joking around with the makeup that I had. And she was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Like use what you've got." And she was kind of pointing some things around and she's like, "That's my favorite part about makeup is using what you got to just accent your own features and your own natural beauty." And I was like, oh, I was just obsessed with everything she was talking about because I have those same values and belief systems about makeup. And so I wanted to bring her on and share her expertise and her wisdom with us. So thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you. I am so when you were reaching out, or like you said, we were at the modeling thing and you're like, "Oh, I have this palette." I was like, "Wait, I have this palette." And then I saw that you had a different palette. I was like, "Wait, I spent all this money on my palette and Haley
Yeah,
has the
that's
perfect palette."
my $5 Walmart palette.
But it
Yeah.
was the exact same as my Anastasia palette that I had used exactly for that same day. And you don't have to spend that much money on
I
makeup
know.
because we all have our budget and we work with what we have. So yeah, so it was so fun just having that moment with you and then
Oh
coming up
yeah.
with this idea. I was like, "Oh, I'm down. I'm ready for it."
Yes. So give me the origin story. Where did your makeup journey begin? Dive in. Where was it?
I
Where did it start?
jokingly say my mom had a bucket of makeup. My sister and I have a twin, and we would go through her bucket of makeup, and she wouldn't allow us to do it. So that was the love, like knowing there was something out there, like, oh, you can play and make yourself beautiful, and not being able to do it as a teenager. So
Oh,
becoming
that's so cool. I didn't know you had a twin.
yeah, I'm a
Are you
twin, so
guys
there's
identical twins?
we're no, we're fraternal. But everybody's like,
Oh.
"Oh my God, you guys look alike." I was like, "No, no, I'm the prettier one." We both say that.
I feel like that's a
Uh,
thing. There's maybe like always some competition between twins.
they're all yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, she has her beauty and we have our both our individual. So we're when you do see us, if you ever do meet my twin, you'll be like, okay, no, I can see the difference. And yeah, Lottie is the more going out one, and Janice is the stay at home mom who's busy with the PTA and all that. But
Oh
she is
wow.
also into makeup. So a little bit about like my background. So like I said, I was really into makeup growing up. And then going to weddings, our friends will ask like, "Hey, could you do our makeup?" And not thinking anything of it, I was like, "Well, maybe." And then I had a photo shoot, and there was a makeup artist there. And I was like, "Wait, I can make this as a career." So I dived right in. She had a workshop, and then I went to class here at Tyson's Corner.
How old were
And
you? How old are you at this point with the
I
makeup
believe
artist?
So I think the class was just a few years ago, way before COVID. So maybe like 7, 10 years ago. I'm not quite sure. I know
Okay.
for sure
Wow.
it's like I've been doing makeup for 6 years now. And
Wow.
then this will be my third year full time doing makeup.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was a little by little like touching into it and like not knowing how far I can go with it. Because I am a mom of two little ones, or now they're grown, but trying to figure out like work, mom, and trying to come up with a new hobby at the time. It wasn't more of a career choice. It was like, well, let me see what I can make out of this. And
Yeah.
so little by little, I just dove right in, and thanks to COVID, I realized my worth and what I was, supposed to be on this earth for, creating beauty for
Yeah.
others and just inspiring others, that it's not about the outside. Outside helps, but it's within. And typically when I have a client in my chair, I always try to like little by little see what they're here for. Like, why are you getting your makeup done? Is it something that you just want to, have photos taken? But they typically ask like, oh, but how do I do this and how do I do, and I love that. Like, I don't gatekeep at all. I always want to share anything I can help them with.
I love it.
So yeah, so like I said, little by little I discovered that I really enjoyed makeup. And then
Uh-huh.
after COVID, I kind of just took a break from my full-time job. My kids no longer needed me, and I went out searching for photographers.
Oh,
And
that's
yes,
cool.
yeah, so I let my photographers know that I'm now a full-time makeup artist, and they took a chance on me. I was brand new because I did have some makeup background, but if you're not practicing your craft, you're not getting better at your craft.
True.
So I would, reach out to my photographers, and some of them, said, yes, I would love to have you back, and some of them never called back, and that's okay too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, because I was new and, still improving my skills. And so I started off with boudoir shoots. And
Cool.
then, yeah, so that's more of that full glam. And it was okay. Now that I go back and look at what I was, starting off at, I was like, ooh, yeah, Lottie, I'm glad you took the time to put more education in yourself to continue to improve. But
Yeah.
we all start somewhere, just like in our whole, world that we all have, our hobbies or
Mhm.
anything that we're trying to do. And little by little, you get better. And so I did headshot makeup. So learning how to tone down that makeup, not making it as bold because I need to make it look, soft and clean on camera. But we want to make sure that it's not too harsh lines or whatever it is that we have to create. And listening to my photographers, I want to make sure my client's happy, but at the same time, my clients are my photographers. So I need to make sure that they're very happy with what the outcome is. So yes,
Wow.
like I said, I started with boudoir, then headshots, and then I became more of a bridal makeup artist. And
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
So it's a full circle for me. So I do a little bit of everything. I'll do any special occasions. So I have, prom, graduations, military balls.
wow.
Um, I've done recently a lot more government makeup. So people that were getting ready for the inauguration dinner, I did their makeup.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
I've done senators' makeup. There was a senator from Miami that needed makeup and hair. He needed makeup and hair while he was being
Wow.
filmed on the Capitol, walking near the Capitol. They
Yeah.
wanted to make sure they have that building in the background, and I needed to be there to make sure that his hair didn't fly as far and that his skin tone looked nice while they were recording. And so it's not just that I do makeup for women, I also do makeup for men as well. So that no one quite understands what us makeup artists do because we have, someone's like, oh, can you come do my makeup? Well, not does it does take more than just doing makeup. I had to make sure that I have a full kit of like the proper skin tone and your undertones and your highlighting. And so, for someone to ask like, oh, Lottie, can you do my makeup? Yes, I can, but I have to have so much that goes behind than just makeup products, like knowing everything that goes with makeup, our cool tones and our warm tones and all that stuff that, interests me, but no one quite knows like my average ladies that like, oh, what's the difference from a dewy foundation and a matte foundation and a satin foundation, like it all.
My goodness.
So yeah, there's a lot of knowledge in makeup in the makeup world. So yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I truly enjoy. I love it. I truly do.
Wow. So tell me, is it the fact that because I think you and I were talking about this, that Harvard came up with some survey that women have so much insecurity not wearing makeup, that they feel so confident, they feel all these emotions with and without makeup. So what's kind of your take on that?
So when I'm doing makeup, I always tell them, because once I'm done with makeup, they're like, "Oh my God, I look." I was like, "No, no, no, this isn't me. I'm just enhancing your beauty. I see your beauty with you at, from the start. Like you may not see your eyes as bold as I do, but once I get the right colors there, I'm like, oh, let's make these eyes pop. And your eye is your feature, and we want to make sure that we bring out the best feature that you do have. But all my clients, I see beauty in every one of them. I myself have in my insecurities, my baggy eyes.
Right? We all
So,
do. We all do.
and that might just be all I need, just a concealer underneath my eyes and, maybe a little blush and I can walk out the door and be happy. It's not, you don't need makeup to fully change who you are. But it does help build that confidence, just having that little bit of something in it. It can be a shimmer, it can be a lip gloss, it can be whatever it is. But it does help build confidence within some ladies, not every lady. Some ladies are just gorgeous as they are, and they just need more of a moisturizing tint and just to give them that glow because it's winter and
Right.
we're not in the sun and we just need that little bit of warmth in our face and that's all we need. But yeah, that's what makeup's for. Makeup is for enhancing our beauty. It's not to change our whole um face sculpture. We don't need a chin. Like you have a chin just because we can contour and we can bronze and all that stuff doesn't mean that you need to do all of it at once. It's for special occasions usually, but yeah, makeup's to play with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So do you think there's kind of like there's this, at least maybe the way that you do makeup, you mentioned that it's like enhancing their beauty, not like altering their face. So what's your take on maybe some makeup artists who do that, or like they put kind of those like aesthetic shapers on their nose or their cheekbones to totally alter their like skeletal structure. What's your
Yeah.
take on that?
So it depends. I prefer my nose to be, that nice sharp snatch look.
Yeah.
But we don't all have to do that. The contouring can be great for those that need it. As makeup artists, we all have our own way of doing makeup. I'm more, like I said, I keep your natural beauty. I just enhance. And for those that my other makeup artists that love that deep chiseled look, and that's their specialties. So we all have our own specialties type of makeup feel. So you might find a makeup artist, so you're like, oh wow, I love her style of makeup, and then when you go to her, and you sit in her chair, you're like, wait, this doesn't really fit me. It doesn't make me feel like me. So then you might have to do trials. That's what we tell our brides all the time. Make sure you have that trial because not every artist is going to fit your style. And that's why you have to do the homework. Just because you see someone's makeup skills and you're like, oh, they're amazing, and it might be me. You're like, oh wow, I love the way Lottie does makeup, but I may not be the right fit for you. So especially for our brides, we tell them, do the trials because each makeup artist has their own style of makeup. Some makeup artists, like I said, love to do the hard core contouring, and some makeup artists love to have that bronzing look. They want that Miami tan all all year round, and
Yes.
that might be something some clients enjoyed having. I not so much.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, because sometimes I'll see these videos on like TikTok or Instagram where it's like this woman who, looks really beautiful, but then she starts taking off like the wig and she starts taking off these like aesthetic, it's like a, I can't remember the word, but it's some kind of piece of skin
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like change the skeletal features. So like, and you're like, and then they put like these dentures in, like there's just like so much that, and then when you get down to their face, it's like a totally different, it looks like a totally different race, like a totally different like person. And you're like,
Yes.
what happened here? So what do you think about maybe someone who would do makeup like that and like went on a date or something like that?
Oh, I think that's a big no-no. I feel like more that's like a catfish than anything because you don't want to have someone look at a photo and see, the potential date that they're thinking they're going to have, and then at the end of the date, or the next morning, you end up being a totally different person. You have to love who you are. I understand that some might like, maybe a stronger chin or whatever it is, but to go that far with your makeup, day to day, I don't think that would be the right call. I think if you're doing something like that, it's more theater, like, or even movies, or something like that, or even for TikTok or for YouTube, for those that are learning how to do those prosthetic kind of, facial implants or whatever it is that you do, more Halloween. That's how I feel about stuff like that. I could never imagine having one of my clients ask me like, "Hey, Lottie, can you change my nose? Because like I'm insecure and I want to go on a date." Like if they said something like, "No, no, no," I was like, somehow nicely say no, deny this
Yes.
request.
You were so tactful. I know you would do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, man, I agree with you. I'm on the same page with you. I don't think that that's authentic if in that context, right? But yeah, it's
Yes.
like creative and it's like a movie, and then that's fun. It's
Yeah,
playful.
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Recently, I had done a project with another artist, and we had collaborated on a Valentine's Day look. And so I had blocked out her eyebrow, meaning I had to like layer on glue to kind of make it go away. So I had made her forehead look quite bald. And then I drew
whoa.
on my hot pink eyebrows that I did. So within the class that I recently did at Tyson's Corner, with Axel, Makeup Academy, he and his whole team had taught us how to do things like this because I'm still new with makeup. Even with my skills that I've had for 6 years, I'm still improving. And it was nice to learn a new technique and something so small like to block out an eyebrow, and to learn the right way, because you can watch YouTube and you can watch all this stuff, which is totally fine. I'm
Yeah,
more of a hands-on learner, so going back to
sure.
school for that was quite amazing. And then I can't wait. I think I'll be dropping more pictures for that, for my Valentine's Day look that we had collaborated on. And it
Ooh.
was so much fun. Like these are the moments where I want my clientele realizing that I'm not just more of a beauty, or no, not beauty, a bridal makeup artist, but I'm more of like, let's play.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, I've found that the my my relationship with makeup has been an interesting one because
Oh,
I find that it is interesting to notice how people treat you, right? Like you could be in nice clothing and no makeup and no hair done. And you almost kind of like blend in with the crowd, a little bit. It's kind of like a regular person. But then when you have like full hair, full makeup, and like it's just a totally different way that people treat you.
that's
It's
so
almost
true.
like they treat you like you're better or prettier or on another socio-economic level
Yeah,
than them.
yeah.
And there's something about that is so interesting, right? Like I it's shallow. Sometimes I
It
want to make that judgment. I
it can
do.
be. It feels that way. So I actually used to be in daycare forever. And they said the same thing with teachers. Like the children would feel more comfortable if the teacher was the prettier teacher, because they felt more safe with that teacher instead of the teacher,
Interesting.
that might have not have, done their hair or makeup that day, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's more built into us to see, like, see beauty and think it's safe. So maybe that's why, younger women feel like they have to have makeup on just to feel that confidence in any way that they have to. But I don't know. I continue will say, makeup is here to enhance our beauty. It's not here to change who you are. Just because you have, a full glam doesn't make you a good person.
Right,
So,
right.
you got to think about how makeup can improve your day to day. But if you're going for, a job interview, of course, you want to look our best. We all want
Yeah.
to, feel like we belong. And that's when makeup can help, for those that have that, just to have that little bit of confidence. I know I feel great today. If Lottie ended up doing my makeup for a job interview, and I can definitely go in there not having to worry about, my hair and makeup not being perfect. And that could just be it, for those that
Yeah.
know nothing about makeup. And I have those clientels that will reach out like, I know nothing. How can I do this, or what can I do? And people will message me on Instagram like, hey Lottie, how do I, do my under eye concealer? I was like, oh, you want to take these 3 steps, and like, but like
You're
I like
so sweet.
I like I don't mind sharing, but don't share with everybody.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, those are like your things. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think the other part, so like beauty, how would you define beauty?
I've defined beauty within. I think it's more of your soul and who you truly are. If you're a good person, that is the most beautiful thing. Is as long as you're kind with everyone around you. Beauty is not about what's on the outside. Just because you have, the perfect lashes doesn't make beauty. It's who you are within yourself. Is how I define beauty. Just being a kind person is beautiful to me. Like all in
Okay.
all, yes.
Yes, so then that's what makes me struggle with makeup, right? So it's like if we if we have that beauty within, what is the purpose of makeup, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't
what do you
know.
think about that?
The purpose of makeup for me, I just truly it helps me just to come out of my shell sometimes. I may be in a funk, and I'm like, you know what? If I go out tonight, let me throw on some makeup, and then I'll be in a better mood. And it does. It helps me get in that better mood.
Oh
Just
yeah.
playing with my palettes. Like let's play with blue today, and stay away from the black smoky, because sometimes that makes you feel a little like down, and
And
spring's around the
dark.
corner. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And I want to feel joyful. And if I have like a blue, or like a more of a floral kind of look that I'm going, it's my inspiration. Like I may like get going by getting ready. Like if I'm not actually getting ready to go out somewhere, I may not ever do it. So let me sit in my makeup chair and listen to my music and get
Yeah.
ready for my night. And yeah, I just yeah, makeup makes me happy.
I love that. I love that. I felt those sensations too, where you're like you're going out with your friends or you're gonna like meet up with your friends and you put your music on and it's like an initiation, kind of like a prep for a good time. It's like this,
Yes.
I can definitely relate with that. And I still wonder that part about beauty standards, right? Because I have kind of done a lot of research on it, and beauty standards have been all over the place. If you think about like the Victorian eras, they would shave this upper part of their forehead that was considered beautiful.
Yeah.
And they would I'm trying to remember which ones, but some of them would shave or remove the eyebrows, remove the eyelashes, like that was considered beautiful.
Mhm.
Some eras or I don't want to say dynasties, but like reigns of kingdoms or whatever, they would
Mhm.
dye their hair with like really harmful chemicals to be orange and like
Oh.
that dark red. So that was like beautiful, but it was like really toxic chemicals that were creating that look. And then in the Egyptian times, they would shave their whole heads and have the wigs and then this like charcoal in their eyes. So it's like, it's weird how beauty standards or standards of beauty change in and are different depending on the region that you are in.
So true. Yes. Yeah.
So it's
No,
like,
I know, yeah, the beauty standards, even from like the 70s and like 60s and all, like how we're constantly changing. It might have been like the Cupid's little bow lips. I believe that was more of it was it the 40s? I can't remember because I actually we went over that. We went over our history
Ooh.
of makeup during our class as well. And
Oh,
like
that's so
learning
cool.
all that stuff, like how makeup constantly changed throughout even, like 60, 70, 80, 90, and today, like beauty has always changed. It's
Ah,
what might be beautiful today was never beautiful back then.
right,
The Madonna, my mole here, it was never a
right.
beautiful thing other than, until we had Cindy Crawford and Madonna and the rest of them. So it kind of helped having those people, famous people out there having those, beauty marks to make me love my beauty mark. And that's what each generation goes through. We all go through our changes, and eras, and different standards of beauty is no longer the same. So I'm grateful that that has changed for all of us. I would never want to shave my head.
I know, right? So then it sounds like the way that you approach makeup is almost like paying attention to the beauty trends, but not to the point where it would um, encroach or make your client feel as if you're totally altering their natural beauty.
Yeah, exactly. No, I would never want to change who they are. Just helping them, constantly enhancing. I'm going to use that word because I just enhance
Right,
their beauty. That's all I'm doing. I see who they are. And it's kind of nice to be able to have that moment with my client. They're like, wait, how did you change my eye? Because that we all went from the 90s and Gwen Stefani was very popular with her skinny eyebrows. So we overplucked.
right, right,
And they'll
right.
ask me
Skinny
like,
eyebrows was a
yes,
thing.
what's a
Yes.
huge thing? And so now I would have to go back and like fill in the eyebrows, and they're like, wait, what was the steps that you did? I was like, well, yeah, I'll give them the mirror while we're sitting doing makeup, and I'm like, so I just flicked, and then we brush it out, and this is the shape that I followed because it's right here. This is the shape that I would suggest for you to follow, moving forward when you're constantly practicing, because it does take time. You're never going to get
Yeah.
it first time around. So I'll give them those little tricks here. Even typically, it's usually with eyelashes. Everyone always has trouble with their eyelash, and
Mhm.
so I will walk them through that. It's like, all right, so you always want to make sure that you cut off the back end first. You'll put your glue on, and then you look down into your mirror. You're not going to look straight into your mirror because the glue will stick and stick onto your eyelash. But it takes time, and if you ever need help, call me. I will walk you through it again.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my God. So then what's like a good, if you wouldn't mind, what's
I
a
never.
good what's like a good overall general makeup, like two or three makeup tips that people might not know or might overlook when they're doing their makeup?
Skin prep is the number one thing that you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. One, drinking that water, because if we're not hydrating our skin is going to look dull and dry and all that stuff. So
Ah,
yeah, hydration with your water, and then you want to make sure that we're cleansing our skin. So there is steps that I take before even applying makeup on. I will ask my clients, is your skin oily, dry, combo, and they'll let me know. So then I will go with my cleansing water, and cleanse off their face with whatever they have. And then I do my skin toner. So if they have oily skin, I have a skin toner that will control that. Or if they have a dry skin, I have a toner that will help moisturize that. And then that's where you want to start your moisturizing, your serums. So making sure our skin is hydrated is the main factor of getting the perfect foundation. So if you're not skin prepping, you're kind of wasting your time. You need to make sure that you take those first steps before you even think about putting makeup on.
wow, wow. Okay, so skin prep's number one. What's number
Yeah.
two?
Let's see. So the steps that I do when I'm doing makeup is, like I just said, our skin prep. So I'm going to moisturize, I'm going to tone your face, and I'm going to put primer on. And it's just controlling and making sure that our either skin is, if our skin's oily, then we want to make sure that we have a primer that is more oil control so that your makeup is able to stay on all night long. Or if you have, skin that's dry, then you want to make sure you have a primer that can help moisturize your face so it doesn't look as, cracky or any of that stuff. So those are the first steps I will do. And then we move on to, I typically love to do eyebrows. Eyebrow kind of has that frame. It's yes, it's the center. So
Yes.
you start with, I like to start with eyebrows. Each makeup artist is different, but it kind of helps frame everything. So if you start there and then I move on to eyeshadow makeup, because I still have trouble with makeup sometimes, and I have fallout. And I'm not trying to sit there and clean up after all the work I just did on your eyes if I hadn't already put your foundation on. So I will spend. So my other thing I truly enjoy doing when I'm doing makeup is eye makeup. I want to make sure my eyes are perfect because everything else kind of just flies by for me. Eye
Mhm.
makeup typically takes a good 30 minutes sometimes. It depends on how details I want to be, especially if it's like a bridal. If it's bride, then it's going to take at least 30 minutes to do just eyeshadow makeup. Because it's
Wow.
not just eyeshadow makeup. I'm also making sure I have primer on the eyes, and then I have to shape your eyes, and then I have to, do a crease here because what if you have hooded eyes, and I want to make sure that your eyes are nice and big and full, and so it's the placement of eyeshadow that makes eyes pop because if you have too many dark colors at the end of your eyes, it's going to make your eyes look a lot smaller than what it is. So we never want to use a dark shade if you already have small eyes. We want to make sure that we're able to brighten your eyes. So more of a neutral tones is what you typically use, or lighter tones is what you typically use to make sure that your eyes look big and just, the centerpiece of your your whole face.
I love that. I love that. Okay, what's the last one? What's the most common mistake you notice with your clients or just with like people in general with makeup?
Not getting the right shade for their face.
Oh, as far
It's
as like
hard.
foundation?
Yeah, foundation. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do because we'll go to Sephora or Ulta and those ladies there will help you as well. But at the same time, so when you're looking for foundation, I like to say pick up at least three shades, place them either on your chin, your neck, your body, wherever you would like to see it. So when you go outside in natural light, you can find that right
Mm,
shade because the lights in Sephora and the lights in Ulta or wherever you're getting makeup do not, nah, do not go in there
that's a
thinking
good
that's the perfect,
point.
yeah. And you always at least want to pick up three shades. So if you're like lighter skin, go for those light three shades. So you'll get, one, two, and three. Then go home, or if you end up purchasing it, that's fine too. But at least like, all right, two was way too dark. One might be my color. And that's how you pick out your shade for your foundation. So always at least pick up three, color match your body. I like to do the body because I like to match my body to my face. Because if you're great with your skincare and you did your sunblock, you should have a softer, your face will be lighter, obviously. And then you'll have a winter shade and a summer shade as well. So don't ever think one
Wow.
shade's going to take care of you all year round because it doesn't.
That's so interesting. Wow. Lottie, oh my God, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us. I
you.
learned so much from you. How can people follow you? How can they find you if they're looking for a makeup artist?
You can follow me on Instagram, Lottie Rayleigh Beauty. Facebook, I'm on there as well. You can find me on the dance floor because, some people will come up and ask, like, Lottie, this lipstick didn't work. What do I need to do? I will let you know. Find me
I
anywhere.
love it. Oh, you're so generous. Well, yeah, this was such a great interview. I
So
feel
much
like this is
fun.
going to benefit so many women. I love it. I love it.